here's the thing. I've pretty much given up on Disney Star Wars projects, especially the TV shows, because they're all just full of brain dead stupid. They're all just useless, and they're a waste of my time. Whether it was, a Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, as well as the others. I can't remember what they are, but they were all full of brain dead. They were all so full of brain dead stupid. Forget me not even being able to make it through a season. On some of them, I couldn't even make it through the damn first episode. And the Ashoka is a prime example, because the first time, okay, here's why I gave Ashoka a chance. Because I don't know much about the character. And I was told that this is Disney trying to, revamp the franchise and start all over again. And at the same time, because Ashoka was, I believe, in the Clone Wars animated show and the Rebels animated show, she was very loved in those shows. So everything I've heard about Ashoka has been positive. She's a really good character. She's interesting. So she's a fan favorite. And I'm going, okay, I'll give this a shot and see how amazing and wonderful and interesting this Ashoka character is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Ashoka character portrayed in this show is obviously the same way she was portrayed in Rebels and in Clone Wars. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that this show was useless. So I couldn't even make it past the 7-minute mark. And because of that, I was willing to just, let it ride. I'm going, you know what? The show sucks. I don't care. I'm sure there's going to be enough people bitching about it. I don't have to worry about it. But here's the thing. Apparently, I was told I'm not allowed to judge this show. I'm not allowed to tear it apart or rip it apart and establish how brain dead stupid the show is, based solely on the first 7 minutes. And so I had to watch the whole episode to be able to do that. Well, I did. I watched the whole episode. And now because of that, you're damn right I'm going to rant and explain what a brain dead stupid piece of shit, useless, bad, pathetic writing of a show this is. I mean, okay, I want to start. I knew I was in trouble with this show just from the opening crawl. Because, not because of what it's about, because the opening crawl was just plain text, just going up, the screen. And I'm going, why? Why not have it, just angle and disappearing into the background like a standard that is known, that the Star Wars, franchise is known for. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh my God. The show doesn't even care enough about making the opening crawl, be authentic to Star Wars. So if they care if they don't even care about making the opening crawl, appropriate, God knows what they're going to do with the show. But then we get the show. Okay. So the major point so far, the major plot element of this show was getting this map. Now, okay, bear with me because I have a couple of questions. I have some questions for this show. First of all, who built the map? Like seriously, who built the map and why? Because apparently somebody built this map so that people can find out where Admiral Thrawn is. Because the opening crawl establishes how Admiral Thrawn, who I have no idea who it is, and I have no idea why they care, but apparently there's rumors that he's alive and maybe he can start a war or maybe he can prevent a war. It's very ambiguous. So it's like there's really no actual reason why they should be looking for him, but apparently they're looking for him anyway. So somebody, I don't know who, nobody knows, built a map to show the location of where Admiral Thrawn was, and then hid it and put it in a puzzle room so that nobody could actually find it or then open it up. So somebody built a map so that nobody could find it and nobody could figure out where Admiral Thrawn was. Well, if that was the case, why did you build the map in the first place? Who was this map for? If you didn't want anybody to find it, what was the point in making it anyway? But here's the thing. You have Ahsoka going to this ancient temple, and she enters this trap puzzle room. And I'm going, well, wait a minute. It's not like this puzzle room was already there. The person who made the map would have had to have built the puzzle room, because the puzzle room exists specifically to hide the map. But according to the show, this is a 1,000-year-old ancient temple that belongs to the witches. But somehow somebody came to this temple. So was this temple built just because somebody wanted to build a puzzle room to hide the map? How does this work? How is this puzzle room even in existence if it's supposed to be an ancient temple that belongs to the witches? Did they rent out the room? I don't know. But then we have the puzzle room itself. I'm looking at, I'm watching Ahsoka solve this puzzle, and I'm going, this is like a video game puzzle where the video game is set on easy or story mode so that there's no possible way you can fail. Because apparently the puzzle is turn a pillar until it clicks and locks into place, so you know what the setting is. And the thing is, the show knew how ridiculous and inane this puzzle was. So that's why they have all this mood music and, Ahsoka kind of like looking around. Of course, Ahsoka isn't saying anything. There's nothing to say. What is she supposed to do? Go, I don't know how to solve this. I don't know. Let me try rotate. Oh, look, it locks into place. What if she actually did speak during that entire time? She would end up explaining this is a useless puzzle. So the person who made the map put it in a puzzle room with one of the most inane, useless puzzles to actually solve. But then she gets the puzzle. Ahsoka basically gets the Rubik's. It's a Rubik's cube. It's a round Rubik's cube. So Ahsoka gets the Rubik's cube map. But apparently, the person who not only made the map and then built the puzzle room also left a clue in the puzzle room on how to actually open the Rubik's Cube puzzle box to be able to find. It's like, what? Why? What? This is the most inane intro or quest I've ever seen in my life. It exists solely to exist so that Ahsoka can actually do something to try and find the map. But then she ends up getting the map. Okay. I have to skip because I'm going to be going all over the place. So she gets the map, and she eventually meets Sabine, and she gives the map to Sabine. Oh, there's so much to talk about Sabine, but I'm just going to try and stay with the map. So Sabine takes the map and goes to her house. Okay, I have to skip this. No, what? I'm going to stay on track. So Sabine goes to her house. Oh, but Ahsoka mentions, in case it'll help, my droid, or whatever that droid's name is, took a 3D scan of the top of the temple. Good idea, not a problem. But apparently it doesn't help. It doesn't help. So Sabine goes back to her place and takes out a bunch of discs and has a 3D scan of inside the puzzle room. How? The droid didn't make the scan because he was up in the sky. All he could do was make a scan of the top of the temple. The only person that could have made a scan of the inside of the temple or of the puzzle room would have been Ahsoka, but she didn't do that. So how the hell does Sabine have a 3D scan of inside a 1,000-year-old temple? Just happened to have it lying around, apparently. It's just like... Anyway, she ends up solving the Rubik's Cube. And I swear to God, I hope there's more to this map later on in other episodes. But as far as I could see, this is what the map reveals. A line going to a galaxy and just pointing to a section of stars. And it's like, how is that supposed to help? You see a galaxy and there's a line that points to just a little section of it. And it's like, oh yeah, sure, not a problem. It doesn't even point to a particular planet. It doesn't even point to a particular star system. It simply points to a section of a galaxy. Most useless, unnecessary map ever. And apparently Sabine doesn't even question this. The whole plot of this movie doesn't even make any sense. Somebody, for some reason, we don't know who, we don't know why, builds a map to hide it so that nobody can find it. But in case somebody does find it, leaves clues on how to actually open it. Why even bother? I don't get it. I don't get it. But then, okay, but so let's get back to the start of the show. The start of the show. This is the other thing that happened in the beginning of the episode that made me go, what the hell am I even watching? Because we have the captain in the ship, right? And we have, I believe it's Balin and his apprentice. I don't even know. I don't remember if the apprentice even has a name, but I'm just going to say Balin and the apprentice. And Balin goes, we're Jedi and we'd like to speak with the prisoner. And I hear that and I'm going, oh, wait a minute. How do you know they have a prisoner, Balin? How do you know they only have one prisoner? Like which prisoner did you want to speak to if there's more than one, unless there's only one, and how the hell do you know there's only one? So I'm thinking this, and I'm going, and I'm looking at the captain, and I'm going, hey, Captain, why don't you ask the so-called Jedi these same questions? Why aren't there red flags going off by this simple statement? And the captain's going, oh no, I just don't believe he's a Jedi, and I'm gonna call his bluff. I'd be going, wait a minute. Not only that, what do you want to say to this? So I would be going, if I was captain, I'd be going, okay, security detail, get this Jedi and bring him here because I want to talk. I want to ask some questions here. Forget, calling his bluff or whatever. I want some questions. How do you know there's only one prisoner, and why do you want to speak to that prisoner? The captain doesn't even bother even interrogating Balin. And then, and not only that, I'm a Jedi. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Because again, I'm now establishing myself as a casual Star Wars fan. Because after all, what are there, 12, 15 movies, however many, live action TV shows, the only Star Wars property I actually enjoy and like is the original trilogy. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm at best a casual Star Wars fan. And as a casual Star Wars fan, I'm going, but this show takes place after Order 66 was enacted, and all of the remaining Jedi are scattered throughout the universe and hiding. Why the hell is Balin going around mentioning, oh, hi, bye, I'm a Jedi? Now, again, he's lying that he's a Jedi, I understand that. But why use that as a cover? Like, why use that as a cover? He thought it was going to work as a cover when the captain automatically goes, yeah, I don't believe they're an actual Jedi. So that cover's blown. So even using the Jedi as a cover was useless because it was blown anyway. And not only that, again, I don't know how the New Republic, I don't know what the New Republic's thoughts on Jedi are, but Why wouldn't the captain just go, "Oh, you're a Jedi? Oh, okay. Yeah, shoot the ship." Oh, speaking of Jedi, again, this show takes place after Order 66. I believe that's what it's called, Order 66, where all the Jedi are supposed to be killed. Yet we have Ahsoka wandering around without a problem as a Jedi. She's referred to as a Jedi in this show, so she's apparently a Jedi, but apparently she doesn't have to go into hiding. I mean, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, you have Obi-Wan literally trying to hide, and you have Inquisitors still able to find him. You have Ahsoka wandering the galaxy, not even bothering to hide. Why aren't there Inquisitors going after her ass? I mean, like, I love how this show goes. In this show, this is how the Star Wars universe works. But in this show, which is around the exact same time frame, we're not going to actually apply that. So again, this is what I mean about how this show doesn't even care that it doesn't make any sense. So we have that. So then we have the fight scene where Baylan ends up fighting everybody and goes to the prisoners. Now, there's these two scenes during that fight scene that I want to highlight. There's this one scene where Baylan, slices of one of the guards, and there's a scar along his chest, and the guard goes down. Now, I understand it's a Disney TV show. I understand it's for kids, so they can't actually show Baylan, slicing the guard in half. I get it. But later on, there's the guard, there's an entranceway. There's one guard in the middle, two guards behind. Baylan kills one and then turns around and slices the other guard on the back of the leg, and you see a scar, and you see like a trace mark of scar on the guard's leg, and the guard goes down. He's dead. So this show is established. All you have to do is be touched by a lightsaber, and you're dead. Now, at the time, that didn't really mean anything, but at the end of the episode, apparently, you can be run through with the lightsaber like Sabine is, and guaranteed she's going to be alive the next episode. She is alive because I've seen clips where she's alive anyway. So apparently, you can just be touched. Again, I understand that the show can't show Baylan actually decapitating somebody and cutting them in half. But sorry, Disney, these are the rules you've established. You're stuck with them. So you can't have it that a person can just be scratched by a lightsaber and die, but can be impaled by a lightsaber, and that's okay. Sorry. I know there's all the examples of Qui-Gon Jinn, but I'm sorry. Even the episode alone invalidates what was done to Sabine and how she survived. Oh, going back to Ahsoka after she gets the Rubik's Cube puzzle out of the temple room, she jumps out and there's a bunch of assassin droids. Okay, I have a question. Who sent the assassin droids after Ahsoka? It wasn't Baylan. Because later on in the episode, when Baylan goes to the temple and sees all of the destruction, he has no idea what was happening. He has no idea what's going on. The only reason he knows about the temple was because the witch led them there. So Baylan didn't send the assassin droids. It couldn't have been the witch because she was a prisoner. So who sent the assassin droids after Ahsoka in the first place? Here's another thing about these Disney Star Wars TV shows. Oh, then again, that's not fair because it's about most shows, whatever. They'll establish something in an episode, and you'll hope that in an upcoming episode they'll explain what happened. But the show's going, we don't have to, because by the third episode you're gonna forget what happened in the first episode anyway. Any questions you had that pertain to the first episode that you were hoping was going to be resolved or explain in a further episode. By the time you get to the third episode, you forgot the questions you were asking because guess what? You got 10 more new questions wondering what the hell's going on. But, and here's the thing about the only reason Ashoka was able to defeat the assassin droids is because these assassin droids are so damn useless and ridiculous. First of all, why are they using melee weapons against a Jedi? Who thought that was a good idea? But the show's going, we can't actually have the assassin droids use their blasters because they would actually kill Ashoka. Because here's the thing. Ashoka comes out and she basically, there's this one assassin droid and she's facing off against that, or basically staring down that one assassin droid. But at the same time, there's two other assassin droids behind her that she doesn't even know about. So the assassin droids have the element of surprise, have superior positioning, caught her off guard, and don't do anything because apparently they don't actually want to kill her. Like, she should have been dead. Ashoka. Okay, the reason the show couldn't actually have the assassin droids be competent is because they would have ended up killing Ashoka and the show would have only been 7 minutes long, which, as far as I'm concerned, is fine by me. I couldn't have cared less. But they had superior positioning. They had her by surprise, and they end up going in and attacking hand to hand. Now, I'll give the show credit that Ashoka ends up going back down into the puzzle room, cutting the holes and causing some of the assassin droids to fall. Except that gets negated about 10 seconds later when the assassin droids somehow are crawling out of the hole. How? They don't have a jetpack. They don't have any grappling hooks. So because again, it's really, it's shown that it's a high ceiling. How did the assassin droids get up? I don't know. The show doesn't know. The show just wanted the assassin droids back up, and screw if it doesn't make any sense. So she ends up fighting them, and she ends up defeating some of them, and then this confused the hell out of me. They announced that they are now going into self-destruct mode. Why do you announce this? Like, why is it constantly programmed in droids that if they have a self-destruct mechanism, they have to announce it out loud? I don't understand. But I'm assuming it's just a small thing, and Ashoka starts running. But then the droids, self-destruct, and it's this huge explosion. And I'm going, that would have destroyed the map. So what was the assassin droid's mission? Get the map, and if they can't get the map, destroy it? I don't, like, the best I could come up with is that the person who made the map and hid the map in the puzzle room wanted to make sure nobody could actually get the map, so that way she could, so whoever made the map had a fail-safe, so that in case anybody ever did get the map, it would blow up. They would blow it up and they would destroy it. So again, what was the point of the damn map in the first place? But then we have Sabine. Again, I'm jumping all over the place because I'm just remembering the stupid as I go along. I love how this show tries to establish that Sabine is some kind of rebel or edgy or badass, because she doesn't want to do a speech. Okay. You know what would actually help is if you gave a reason why. But but the show doesn't actually have a legitimate reason on why Sabine doesn't want to do the speech, so they just skip it. That's another thing about this show. When they have basically every Disney Star Wars TV show, when they don't have an explanation for something, they just skip it. Like when Sabine rides off in the speeder, right? You see this big giant city, this big giant metropolis, and apparently there's only this one road and it's empty. Nobody else uses this road. Even when Ashoka later on meets Sabine, and Sabine steals the map to go back to her place. Again, nobody else on the road. Oh, okay. I got so much to cover. So there's literally no reason. There's no reason explained why Sabine doesn't even want to do the speech. Now, again, that's a minor thing. I understand that. But she's going down the road on her speeder, and these two pilots come out, and there's a male pilot and a female pilot, and the male pilot goes, Sabine, I got to bring you in, blah, 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 and she refuses. So the female pilot takes her ship, goes in front of her, and then rests on the road, blocking her. And Sabine starts speeding up, and I'm going, why? Why? Like, to the left and to the right is open field. The only thing blocking you is a little, what's it called? A divider. You're on a speeder. Just go over the divider. Why are you, like, she reduces the suspension of the speeder and slides underneath, and it's like, okay, then how is she still, how is she still floating in the air? Whatever. Or aside from that, stop the bike, because again, you got the female pilot on the ground, on the road. She can't do anything. You got the male pilot up in the air. He can't do anything. So all Sabine had to do was stop the speeder, take the speeder, throw it over the railing, jump the railing, and then just speed off. You didn't have to do that stupid move in the first place. But anyway, I'm looking. I'm going, just go to your left or you go to your right. But then my thought is, okay, you made it past the ship that was blocking you. What was your plan afterwards, Sabine? Okay, fine. You went underneath the roadblock. You avoided the roadblock. What was your plan then? None. Because apparently, for no reason whatsoever, the male pilot goes, okay, Sabine, you can go. And it's like, well, why? Well, because the show needs Sabine to escape and go away so that she doesn't have to get caught and whatever. But then I'm going, well, wait a minute. Just because the male pilot let Sabine go, there's still the female pilot. Why wouldn't the female pilot who wanted to actually stop Sabine in the first place, why couldn't she have gotten back in her ship and just go after Sabine herself? Oops, show forgot about the female pilot. Again, characters have no plan on what they're doing. They just do things because they don't have to worry about it, because the show has it that, well, we already have a solution on how it's going to happen, so she doesn't actually have to plan ahead. Same thing with Ashoka. When after she escapes the planet, she's flying. She's in the ship and she's just flying somewhere until she gets a message from the general to come back to home base. And I'm going, okay, where were you going, Ashoka? Where were you going? Like, the show doesn't know, because it doesn't matter where Ashoka was going, because according to the script, in about 5 seconds, she's going to get a message from the general to tell her to go home. So the show doesn't even have to have Ashoka go anywhere in the first place. Ashoka could have literally gone on the ship, sat there and not do anything and just wait for the general to call. Considering when she ends up meeting the general, she tells the general, oh, by the way, I have the map. Why didn't you do that after you escaped the droids exploding? You're on the ship. You have nowhere to go. You have no idea what to do. Why wouldn't you tell, oh, by the way, General, I've got the map. And the general could have gone, okay, great, bring it here. But no, apparently Ahsoka's just wandering space, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. Speaking of the, I forgot about this. Speaking of the assassin droids, you have the two that go after Sabine. And for some reason, you have one of the assassin droids bear hug Sabine, and I'm going, why are you bear hugging her? Because the show literally showed that assassin droid has a blaster rifle on his back. Why doesn't he use it to shoot Sabine? Well, you can't have the assassin droid actually be a competent assassin because then Sabine would actually die. But they needed to have the assassin droid have the blaster rifle on his back so that Sabine could get to the blaster rifle, shoot, I think the android in the foot or something, and escape. But here's where it gets hilarious. So all Sabine knows is that one of the assassin droids grabbed the map and is chasing her. And she's chasing him. Now, she's chasing all she knows is that there's one lone assassin droid left. She has a blaster rifle in her hand. For some reason, goes back into her place and looks for a lightsaber and gets a lightsaber. I'm going, how is that going to help you, Sabine? The assassin droid is running away. He's probably on a speeder by now. Getting your lightsaber isn't going to help you. But by sheer coincidence, lo and behold, when Sabine exits, not only, but standing beside the assassin droid is the apprentice. And I'm going, why? Why? The assassin droid has the map. That's all you needed. That's all you wanted was the map. You're home free. You're done. But the show's going, no. We want to have a little girl-on-girl lightsaber action. And we're going to force and no matter how forced it is, no matter how much it doesn't make any sense, we're going to have a girl-on-girl lightsaber fight. So that's why Sabine had to go back to get her lightsaber, because if she simply followed the assassin droid with the blaster rifle, she would have seen the apprentice and would have gone, well, how is Sabine going to be able to have a lightsaber fight with the apprentice unless she has her lightsaber? So for no reason whatsoever, we have Sabine go back and get the lightsaber. So that way, when she does confront the apprentice, ta-da, she's got the lightsaber ready and we can have a girl-on-girl lightsaber fight. It's like this. Have AI write these scripts. It couldn't get any more pathetically stupid or worse. I won't see how. Now, obviously, there's tons of other stupid in this episode, but I'm done. I don't care. The examples I used were the ones that I could remember to help establish and explain how brain dead stupid this show is and how pathetic and useless the writing is. And again, I'm not going through this episode again because the only reason I even watched it once was so that way now, for all of you bitching that I can't, for those of you who said I'm not able to legitimately call out how useless and pathetic and brain dead stupid this episode is, I watched the whole episode. You happy? You happy? I've now, because I got to watch the episode, instead of just explaining how the first 7 minutes is useless, I got to explain how the whole 45 minutes of this episode was useless. Like I was going to somehow, with this delusion that this show was going to somehow redeem itself past the 7-minute mark. Whatever. Anyway, I'm done. I don't even care about that. I don't even know if I'm even going to bother watching episode 2 because again, I only sat through this episode just so that I can so that way I can satisfy all of those, fans of this show to go, oh, I can't call it out unless I watch the whole thing. There, I watched the whole episode. I'm calling it out now. Anyway, yeah, I'm done. I'm spent. I rant over. I'm done. I'm good. I don't care about this show. I'm sure Ashoka is an interesting character in the novels. I'm sure Ashoka was an interesting character in the animated show she appeared in. But yeah, it's not working it's not working in this show. I'll tell you, in the live action version. So anyway, I'm gonna go. I got some Shadowrun stuff I got to deal with. Again, that's the other thing. The time I spent watching this dumbass show and the time I spent doing this video covering this dumbass show, I could have been doing Shadowrun stuff, but whatever. I'm out of here. See ya.